Hey there, YouTube land, and this is actually take 3 because cats. Anyway, this is the at least the first part to answering the Q&A, basically the questions that were asked, because I put out a Q&A video. This is my very first Q&A video, so I hope I get this right. I want to answer everybody's questions. I tried to write everyone's questions down, and as I'm talking, I'm going to talk about the channels as well. And I just want to get into it. So let's jump straight in. And I tried not to write out answers beforehand, which I'm guessing a lot of people do, and that probably is the best way to do it. But if you watch my channel, you know I like to keep things kind of fresh and off the cuffs, and I'm going to continue that. So first off, it's from Just Illogical, and if you haven't checked out her channel, you really should. She does some great reviews. She's been on here for a while. I remember the first review I think I saw of her was a Serbian film. And she did such a great review. But I didn't like the movie. But she did. She really liked it. And her review was so... It made me actually want to go back and revisit it. But definitely check her out. Really seriously check her out. Now we... going to start with question number 1. What are some movies you're most excited to see in 2015? Well, movie I'm most excited to see in 2015? Okay, I want to see Mad Max. That looks really good. Star Wars, of course. I'm hoping that they're going to do something good with that. Avengers: Age of Ultron is one that I'm interested in seeing. Pitch Perfect 2, actually. I know that's kind of silly, but it was just one of those little silly movies that did well and kind of was a sleeper hit. And I'm trying to see if this movie here is coming in 2015 or 2016, the one that I'm curious about. Okay, so I was going to say Batman vs. Superman, but that comes out in 2016, so not that one apparently. But those for sure. Jurassic World as well. I'm really kind of interested in the Jurassic World movie. It looks like it's going to be really cool. It can go one of two ways. I think a friend of mine said the same thing, and that's kind of the way I feel about it. I'm hoping it's going to be real good, like kind of a thrill ride. So, here we go. Number 2, how do you keep your videos so consistent? How do you get them out so quickly and yet never run out of ideas? Well, thanks. Actually, that means a lot. With my videos, I've had this channel for a while, and the thing is that I mean, I've been asked this. I've been asked a lot when people start a channel. They kind of what keeps it going or what makes people watch. And I've only got 600 and something viewers, so I yet do not have the magical secret of making people watch part of it. So, but you know, there's lots of great people out there that do. I know that Cinema Sickness has great consistency, and I think that works well with him. He's got, whether you're interested in the movies that he likes or not, he has a love of it, and I think that hopefully that comes across from me as well. I do have a real great love of films, and that's why I put out so many videos. I just get I'm a writer first and an actor, and I don't do any of that on here. I try to just be me. So the me in real life is actually, I guess it's kind of boring when you really think about it. I love movies. I study film, and I go beyond the point of just collecting movies or just watching movies. I actually love cinema, and it's basically part of my life. It's become immersed. So when I'm talking on here about videos or movies or TV shows or video games, it's basically I just love that medium. I love the visual medium. I love the writing that's in the visual mediums. I love the way that's done. And how do I never run out of ideas? Because I've got a weird imagination, and hopefully that comes across sometimes in a good way. Anyway, I just love movies, and I can't shut up. So that's basically it. If my videos are consistent, honestly, thank you. Because sometimes I'm not sure. Sometimes I'm should I slack off a bit? And there are times when I have slacked off. or some people haven't been able to keep up with the videos that I've done, and I understand that because I find it really hard keeping up with as many people as I watch. To the point where I'll like go through, I'll binge a bunch of videos on one night, and then I'll forget to comment, and I'll have to go back and comment later on. But consistency, it's with time, it's with like everything. The more you do it, the easier I think it becomes. When I first started in public relations, getting up in front of like a bunch of people and talking and stuff like that was really, really well, it didn't bother me as much, but it was different. It was different than acting. It was different than other stuff that I'd done. So the more that I did it, the more comfortable I got with it. And I think, and hopefully it's come across that with YouTube, it's the same way. So just keep at it, and you already have it down there. Your videos are spot on. Keep doing it the way you're doing it because yours are awesome. I still feel like, to this day, I keep finding my niche slowly, and I think it's an ongoing process. Kane Carlson, I just watched a couple of his yesterday. By the way, yeah, check him out. And which one did I watch? I watched the box sets, tins and steelbooks. Anyway, check it out. It's really cool. So he's got a few questions, and let's go. And there's some really cool ones here. So let's go. What are a few Blu-ray releases you are looking forward to in 2015? Oh, in order to do that, I gotta go to the cheat sheet. So Blu-ray releases in 2015, alright? See, I got movies 2015 because I had literally forgotten. Right now, is there anything I'm looking forward to? I'm looking forward to a lot of stuff that's coming up from Scream Factory. Right now, I really want to... Howling 2 was just announced, and I was going to do a video on that actually first. And I really want Howling 2. I love that movie. A friend of mine sent it to me. They found it in the shop, and he sent it to me, and I was incredibly generous of him. I love the movie. I love Sybil Danning, Christopher Lee. It's really, really cheesy, really ultra cheesy. I want that. Scarecrows, I want. Criterion's got some cool stuff coming out. It depends. Criterion looks like they're going to have The Brood coming out. If that comes out this year, I definitely want to get that. Arrow's got some stuff. Day of Anger I want. And there's just so many. And there's so many I'm going to forget. I'm sure Synapse is coming out with something that I want as well. I know that Blue Underground has announced 2 sets that are Dario Argento 3-pack and a Fulci 3-pack. And I may even have them on Arrow or some other thing. But if I don't have them on Blue Underground Blu-rays, I'm definitely going to be picking that up. I'm a huge, huge fan of Italian films and Italian horror. One of my first loves. So those I'm looking forward to. I know there's a lot of big releases that I'm not thinking about right now. A lot of sets and stuff like that are coming out. A lot of Scream Factory. If you look at Scream Factory stuff, there's a lot of that there that I really, really want. Same with Arrow. Same with Criterion. I'm really hoping that Criterion brings it Lost Highway. I love that movie. One of my perhaps favorite films. Have you heard of Static 3D from 2012? Never heard of Static 3D. I haven't actually. I had to look it up when I saw the thing here. It looks kind of interesting. So I'd kind of like to see it. But I like that style of film. But had I heard of it? No, it totally passed me by. So I have to. I'm not going to feign pretend that I know. I didn't know. My ignorance is going to show. Who would win between Jason and Billy from Silent Night? Well, considering Jason went on to anchor a whole series of films, and Billy died really easily in the first Silent Night, Deadly Night film. As much as I love Billy, and if you've seen my channel, you know I love the Silent Night, Deadly Night movies. Jason is a clear winner, and I'm going with human Jason. We'll go with human Jason against human Billy. That way we make it more fair. Human Jason will win because of his determination. And just wait, what is your favorite slasher film? Well, I'm an 80s kid. I grew up with all sorts of slasher movies, loving them all, which is not a fair answer, so I'm going to give you an answer. My favorite slasher film, I would love to say Halloween, because it is such a cool movie, but it's not. My favorite slasher film actually came out 4 years before that, and it changed me a lot when I finally got to see the film. It was called a movie called Black Christmas in 1974 by Bob Clark. Although it pretty much set the benchmark for slashers to come. It like had a little bit of giallo into it. Uh, it kind of had the point of view thing way before Halloween did it, and it just was really different. It had a quality cast too. We had Margot Kidder in this one here. We had Olivia Hussey, who just came off of doing Safridi's Romeo and Juliet. So this was just a quality cast. Udo Kier was in this one, and as was Art Hindle, who's a famous Canadian actor now, and John Saxon doing that cop role that he would do so well in so many other movies. But this just had a perfect storm of what I like. Sprite or Fresca? Fresca, actually. Would you ever consider doing a complete collection video? When I changed all my movies around about a year and a half or so ago, 2 years ago, my movies were a lot less than this. I did a complete collection video. But of course, now that's way different. What I consider to do a complete collection video, I'm hoping to do one this year. It's going to be a major undertaking because I have a lot of movies. Not as many as like a lot of people that are on here, but a few thousand type. So yeah, I will be doing a complete collection video. What collector doesn't want to show off his collection every once in a while? So you know, that's what we do. It's all part of this. What are some key components that might attract you to a movie? For me, writing is really important because I'm a writer, and acting not so much. That can be off a bit. I love to see camera work that's done really well, that's really inventive. But some key components that might attract me to a movie, so I'm guessing you want to know what attracts me to a film in the first place. Uh, like a lot of people, just either an interesting concept, a really cool trailer, which usually is, or a shiny box cover will attract me to a movie. I want those horrible. Back in the VHS days, they'd have these lenticular covers and shiny covers, and they do them all up really cool. And usually those would be the worst movies you could possibly imagine. But those would be the movies that I would go for. There's a movie called Werewolf, not the TV series, which is actually really cool with John J. York, but it was actually a movie called Werewolf. And it had this lenticular cover. If you looked at it, just Google it. It has a really cool box cover image to it. And I rented it. I mean, like day one rented it, paid the full price thing back in the day because, you know, you paid more for it back then. And that got me. So, as for just going grabbing a movie, yeah, cover artwork, trailer stuff that gets me. But as in like components within a movie, plot is important to me. Visuals are extremely important, but I will not let somebody just sit on the visuals and assume that I'm going to be that amazed that I'm going to give it a pass because I won't do that. I see a lot of directors that get overhyped because with that whole thing because they're visually stunning or whatever, but there's a complete package and it's got to work right for me. What do I think of Tobe Hooper's career? I think he made some genius stuff. I mean, has he gone down in like the stuff that he's done? No doubt. But here's the thing: Tobe Hooper made Texas Chainsaw Massacre. He made Eaten Alive. He made Life Force. He made Funhouse. Those four movies alone, and he's made Poltergeist. I know there's like behind the scenes like Steven Spielberg and all that stuff. But anyway, those five movies alone ensures him a place in movie history forever. Actually, one movie, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and 6 movies for me because I loved Invaders from Mars. That's one of the movies I am looking forward to coming out this year on Blu-ray. And I think that even if his best days are behind him, his best days are going to be better than the days of a lot of guys that came by. Texas Chainsaw Massacre is a epic film, and it's not. And I think a lot of movies in genre they get hyped and stuff, they get overrated. This is one that is really good, and it's actually not overrated. It's just really that good. Eaten Alive, I think, is an extremely underrated film. That's a favorite of mine. Invaders from Mars didn't grab the audience the way that it should have, but it grabbed me. And Life Force as well. I thought Life Force was an incredibly fun movie. As a kid, I'm sure Mathilda May was one of the reasons I loved Life Force, but when I grew up, I actually enjoyed it. I think Funhouse was a very smart slasher film. What is my favorite movie ever? My go-to answer to that one is usually Black Christmas because it's a favorite of mine. But my favorite movie ever. Okay. I like so many different genres, and I usually go down and I break it down into genres. What I like in a genre, what I like in this genre. But do I have a favorite movie ever? I don't know if I do have a favorite movie ever. I love films. I know that I've seen certain movies I've seen a million times. It seems like a million times. I actually do like Citizen Kane. I think it is a really good film, but it's not my top movie. It's definitely not my top list. I'm looking through my movies here as I'm talking, and I'm trying to see if anything stands out, something that I've watched a lot. And yeah, there's certain movies that I have. I mean, if you want to know one of my favorite movies of all time, it's a movie that Alfred Hitchcock did called Shadow of a Doubt with Joseph Cotton and Teresa Wright. And it just struck me really, it hit me at the right time. It was a very personal film for Hitchcock. I didn't find that out until I read Donald Spato's biography on Hitchcock later on, actually a few years later. But it was just a movie that I really liked, and it wasn't the characters that you would think. It wasn't the Joseph Cotton character, although it was an amazing character. It wasn't the Teresa Wright character. It was actually the father and his friend. Their morbid sense of humor, where they're always trying to one up each other, kind of planning the perfect murder type of thing. That, yeah, I really got into that. I loved the opening of that film, and it was just amazing. It was an amazing film. I think it's really highly underrated. It's a great movie. Is it my favorite movie? I'm not sure if it's my favorite movie, but if you want a movie that really sticks with me, something that I like, and something that if I was making a movie, it's something I would kind of like go towards, that's a movie that I would go towards. Favorite movie ever, though? I don't know. There's a lot. I mean, Kiss Me Deadly, Ned the Hunter, there's so many. As cheesy as it sounds, a lot of the earlier Giallo stuff, Tenebrae, I think, is one amazingly done film. From the soundtrack to the just the kills, just beautiful. What is my favorite independent film company? Would Full Moon be called independent? I loved Full Moon back in the day. When I was in college, Full Moon was big, and I was friends. One of my big friends back then, one of my good friends, owned a video store, and I would basically get the screeners and tell them which movies to run, that they should buy for rental purposes. And I always went for Full Moon because I knew everybody in the. I lived in college town. Then I was going to college. Would watch Full Moon and Trauma. Trauma is very independent, and they have done a lot of really bad stuff, and they have done a lot of really good stuff. But you have to be a certain type of person to like Trauma. The only other company I can think about, and I'm not sure if this would be considered an independent film company or not, but Best Brain Productions, who did a Mystery Science Theater. What is your favorite film soundtrack? That's actually an easy one. I love the soundtrack to Fright Night. I thought it was really good. The music in it was incredible. Fright Night is one of my all-time favorite movies, and yeah, it's up on the top 10 list of movies that I really love. So either Fright Night or Tenebrae probably are two of my top soundtracks that I really like. If I know what my cheesy soundtracks are, I don't like to say guilty pleasures, but ones that I kind of like that a lot of people. I like Grease. I like Grease 2. Like Rocky Horror Picture Show, and I do like Shock Treatment. So, but if I had to pick one, Fright Night was one that just really stuck with me. What's the most annoying thing to you? Phony people. I don't like phony people, false friends, and people. But most annoying thing, maybe it's film. Okay, most annoying film thing to me. So really diehard fanboys that can't grasp that you don't, that not everybody's got the same uh, sense of what they consider a great film. Nolan, I love Christopher Nolan's work, but I don't like usually a lot of the Christopher Nolan fans because they are very intense on letting you know exactly how good he is. And that annoys me. That actually makes me not like his films so much. Rob Zombie, his fan base, and this is not all their fan base, but this is not all Christopher Nolan fans. I like Christopher Nolan. I would be a Christopher Nolan fan and a Rob Zombie fan for some of his stuff. Not a lot, not much, but some of it. But doing those hardcore people that really kind of push it on you, that really gets to me sometimes. That being said, I really like Christopher Nolan, Rob Zombie. Jury's still out on him. I think he has a voice, but I don't think he's found it. What are your thoughts on the Friday the 13th franchise? It's probably one of my favorite, if not my favorite, horror franchises, especially slasher-wise. I love the Friday the 13th films. Parts 2 and Parts 3 and Part 4 and Part 5 were my favorites. I was not so big on the zombie Jason. It was fun and it's cute and all, but it wasn't scary. It just stopped being scary. The first 5 films tried to do something kind of cool. The first 4 told a story. Jason wasn't dead. Jason was died of a drown, went to the other side of the lake, grew up, kind of like surviving as best as he could, survival skills, and it's like made this little shack type thing, just stayed there, kind of hid, and came back inside his mother, beheaded, and went nuts and killed a bunch of people. He was already nuts, but went even further. So I love the franchise. I think it's fantastic. I think that a lot of good's been done with it. I think that when New Line got it, a lot of bad was done with it. And I think that the reboot, remake, sequel, whatever, prequel, in-betweener of Friday the 13th, done by Michael Bay's Platinum Dunes company, was actually pretty damn good. I really enjoyed that. So I didn't enjoy the Nightmare on Elm Street when they came at around the same time. Was it around the same time? It seems like it. But I really did like the Friday the 13th one. A lot of people don't, and I really get why they don't. Because, yeah, but for me, I found it enjoyable. I like the Friday the 13th films. I love the franchise. It's one of my favorites. What are my thoughts on upcoming movies in 2015? I think 2015 is going to be a really good year for movies. There's a lot of big blockbusters. Let's hope that one doesn't overshadow the other. So it's gonna be interesting not to see the blockbusters that hit, but those little movies that maybe we haven't heard about or haven't heard as much about, that kind of become those sleeper hits. And that's what I really am interested in. When you see a movie that everybody knows that people are gonna go and see Mad Max and Avengers and expect those to be big blockbusters, and hopefully they will be, and they'll be good and fantastic. But those little films that you find, those little gems that you go and tell your friends about, that you are so excited that you got it, and you want to tell them, and kind of when you find something, you want to clue them in on it. When you find it's like when you find a cool restaurant and you go there and it's kind of looks like a dive. You go in, food's fantastic. You want to tell everybody, you want to get everybody to go there. That's the way I feel about movies when you get the little sleeper hit. Movies back in the day, Child's Play, when it came out, there's only 3 people in the theater when I went to see Child's Play. It was not the huge hit around my area that you expect. It became a hit later on. Fright Night was the exact same thing. It was not a hit that you would expect. It's a huge movie now, and of course, they made a sequel to it, and then they made a remake, and they made a sequel to that as well. So stuff like that. When you find the little sleeper movies, that's the movies I'm excited about. So it's not a title in particular; it's a concept. If I was to make a horror movie sequel remake, what would it be to, and what would it be? Which franchise and what direction would you take it? I've always said that I wanted to do a Friday the 13th film, and do it set in the winter. But right now, Friday 13th is in better shape. So if I was to do one, if I could make a horror movie sequel right now, I would make a sequel to the Halloween franchise, and I would take it after Part 5. I would set it some years after Part 5, and we would reboot it from. We would take it from there. We wouldn't be rebooting anything. It would be a complete sequel. So anything that came afterwards, sorry, H2O and stuff like that. Even though you're kind of fun and that. Yeah, I would take it from there. Danielle Harris is an adult now and can definitely do the role. Jamie Lee Curtis, if she wanted to come back to do to work with Danielle, would be fantastic. I'd love to get them both on the screen, and we can forget the Rob Zombie films, and you can forget Resurrection, which I had fun with. I thought it was cheesy horror. It was not a good movie, but at least it was a Halloween film. And the other Rob Zombie films, like love them or hate them, they're not Halloween films. They're Rob Zombie films. They have no resemblance to Halloween. So yeah, I'd reboot the Halloween franchise. I would make a sequel to the Halloween franchise that would cut out the crap, basically. Okay, so the next one is a really good friend of mine that has some interesting questions, and it's the Empty Theater, who used to be known as Blu-ray Anonymous. Nathan. I think I've known Nathan on here since, oh God. I won a contest. I won 2 contests from Nathan, actually. And me and Nathan have really passionate ideas about film. There's one guy that I can say, you check out his channel, calls himself the Film Hipster, and I really respect what he does with his stuff, and he really has a passion for it. When that comes through, he's hitting close to 1,000. If he's not at 1,000 subs right now, definitely check him out, and you won't be disappointed. These guys here are awesome. What does film mean so much to you? That's a question that I wondered for a long time. Why does film mean so much to me? Well, Nathan, when I was a kid, I was sick a lot. I'm epileptic, and so I spent a lot of time reading comics and books and magazines, and a lot of the stuff that I read early on, even before I was watching a lot of films, I read a lot of books, and I read a lot of books on movies. I had Marilyn Monroe. I had on Hitchcock. I've had stuff on I read voraciously. I read everything that was in my library. I went after that, and then I read everything that I could get sent in from other libraries. And reading a lot of the stuff actually spurred some me to look for and to study certain things. I was one of those kids that read at an early age. I was reading at 3, and books, not kids' books, actual books. It was really annoying. So film, and my dad and my mom got split up around that time. My dad is a huge cinephile. He's a huge horror fan. His favorite is he loves Paul Naschy films, and he loves the Hammer horror films. He knows a lot about movies, and of course, my mom, and my dad mean the world to me. There were a couple that I can honestly say I was not one of those kids that was upset because his parents weren't together. I was like, yeah, it makes sense. My dad he married someone else, and they've been together ever since. She's an amazing person. I have to say, she's an amazing, incredible woman. My mom went on to do some incredible stuff, and she's an incredible woman. She's a guy right now that seems to be really, really sweet. So that's awesome there. I'm very proud of my mom and stuff that she's done. But I didn't get to see my dad a lot when I was young. But the one thing I took was Famous Monsters, Filmland magazine. It had Lon Chaney. It had Lon Chaney in the front from London After Midnight. It gave me nightmares. And I looked at the book a lot. And my dad, knew my dad was really into film, and I kind of wonder if that wasn't part of it, like a way to connect with my dad from afar, basically. Like kind of like started the whole passion of it, and just like going to the theater and seeing movies. I was a very shy kid. I I was an awkward penguin, basically. I was an awkward kid. I was running with all these ideas and thoughts and like going through my head, and not always knowing the right way to get across. When we were doing our very first speeches when we were young, I remember getting a book by Alan Ormsby called like Movie Monsters, I think was the name of it, and it gave like makeup and talked about like the Universal movie monsters and stuff like that. So I got up in front of the class and I used like makeup, pancake makeup, and like lights and stuff to kind of show the change of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. So it was from a very early age that I was interested in films, and it's always meant the world to me. I didn't start collecting until later. I collected comic books for years. I was a huge comic book fan. I still love comics. I just don't have the money to collect comic books and movies and video games and stuff like that. My better half, uh, for instance, she doesn't consider me much of a gamer because she said you don't like the games the way you like the movies. But the thing is that yeah, you gotta have a focus on one of the things that you're into. And for me, it's films. Movies mean more to me than I can imagine. It's a connection with me to my dad. Watching movies with my kids growing as they were growing up brings me to like the different like happy spots. A lot of my best memories come from film. Film and TV. I was like Prophet. Film and TV raised me, but I wasn't psychotic. So no, my grandparents did a great job raising me, and they gave me like they let me like stay up and watch CBC late night, and I would like see the old movies, the old foreign films, and the just such incredible stuff. The Universal films, and I guess it's just something that's always rung true to me. Movies have always been there. I've always had that love. I've always had that passion, and it's really hard to explain. I can get immersed in films. So think of it like what's the name of the movie? Just trying to find out there, but I can't. Argento, Stendhal Syndrome. If you've ever seen that movie, it's a fantastic film. I like it anyway. And Asia Argento plays this girl, this cop, and she sees paintings, and she has this like, well, it's the Stendhal Syndrome. Basically, she becomes, she sees it, and the colors come alive, and she gets totally immersed in, and it becomes this so overwhelming that it just blows her away sometimes. I see movies like that. When I look at a film, even from a very early age, I was deconstructing the films. So I was taking what was flat on the screen and 3D rendering it in my head, I guess is the best way to put it, so that I could picture where the cameras were at, where the lights were coming from, and basically picture where the marks were. So I just love film, and it's weird, but I do. And that's a great question. What was the first media you saw that made you want to write? Okay, so I was just with books, and I wouldn't say that as media, as the media, if you want like a medium. If it was a book, it was Danse Macabre by Stephen King, which was amazing. But as first media that made me want to write, probably The Twilight Zone, actually. It was different every week, and I really liked that. I loved this short story twist ending concept. I wrote a lot when I was young, a lot of really dark twisted stuff. I'm a writer, and I have no idea where it comes from. But Twilight Zone, and why? Because it sparked my imagination and let me know that it just wasn't one there wasn't one like paintbrush way to do the genre. There was like so many different styles and stuff within the Twilight Zone. Could be like science fiction or horror. Could be like a feel good story. There's Twilight Zone, and I think I saw Thriller just like shortly after that. But it was basically the anthology series of the day that got me writing short stories, that got me writing like longer stories, and like I wrote, obviously I wrote for professionally for a while, if you want to call it that, and made some money doing some films and some like work and stuff, but nothing really good. So just crappy stuff. But I just wanted to do it. It was kind of like checking off on the part of the bucket list. And do I still want to write? I really do, and I really want to get back into writing. So whatever I'm doing in the next few years, I'm going to take at least an hour or two a day. I'm going to just write something, and whether it's like good or crap or whatnot, it just is a way to get that. If you ever want to go into to writing professionally or any type of film, just every day. I mean, if you're an artist, just every day, you have to have that to do it, the focus to keep doing it, keep doing it, keep doing it. And writing is like that, art's like that, filmmaking's like that. It's a passion, and you do it for a reason. You do it because you love it. So, Parsnip Burger. Parsnip Burger has become actually a really, really good friend, and me and him talk a lot on Facebook. So usually there's a daily thing, and he has some really interesting looks on certain things. He was unfortunately when he first came on here, he got mixed up in he entered a contest that got like the person that did the contest had a lot of bad feelings towards them because of the stuff they said. And when he won it, at the time, a lot of people thought that he was the same person that had made the contest. It wasn't. So anybody that still thinks that, nope. I speak to the guy on a regular basis. And it's a shame because really nice guy that got stuck into like a bad situation that was not deserved. I mean, like you go on and you just answer some questions and all of a sudden stuff happens. And then so he tried to stay far away from the person that got him into trouble, and got to get that out there because it's been like a crazy drama stuff. If you had to give up your entire collection but you were allowed to keep one item, what would you keep? Man, that's hard because my movies mean a lot to me, and this is the most complete, the best collection I've ever had. But like I mentioned in a video to a friend of mine, I went very down a few years back, and I lost everything. So answering the question is hard because it brings up old wounds. But it is a great question. And honestly, if I had to keep one thing, my go-to answer is my James Bond set, my James Bond Blu-ray set, because that was just incredible. I mean, I got the Zadichi set, I got the Halloween set. So, but James Bond, because the features and the films, and it meant so much to me growing up. And it's like may not be the biggest set that I got there, but I almost said Batman, but it's Bond. I gotta go with Bond. What are your absolute favorite Western series and films? Western is a much maligned genre that I think does not get the respect it deserves. And it's so hard to do a good Western. What are my favorite Westerns? Well, movies first, Sons of Katie Elder. I really love Sons of Katie Elder. That was a great one. Magnificent Seven. Five Card Stud. If you haven't seen it, it's got Robert Mitchum and Dean Martin. Really good movie, actually. High Noon. Oh, man. There are so many good ones. I'm going to be missing like a lot, but there's a lot that I like. But Western series, The Rifleman was cool. One Dead or Alive was a fun one. I of course I enjoyed The Lone Ranger. I grew up with The Lone Ranger. It's a big show for me, and the Cisco Kid. Uh, may seem a little different or may not as politically correct as you would think before, but it's they were shows that I really watched. You know, I really enjoyed. Zorro, of course. There's so many. I mean, I watched Gunsmoke. Gunsmoke was like a must for me. Gunsmoke was one of those shows that went beyond the genre western, I think, and it lasted for so long, and it did so much great stuff, so many great guest stars. You know, shows like Rawhide and that are fantastic too. But Gunsmoke is hands down for me the probably the best. I love the Lone Ranger, and I would watch the Lone Ranger today. I got a Lone Ranger set out there, but Gunsmoke, and I sadly don't have any of it. But Gunsmoke's my favorite, my absolute favorite Western TV series. What's the one single thing item you want more than anything? World peace. Uh, but I'm guessing you mean like movies. Uh, man, I've been so lucky to get a lot of what I wanted, and Matthew Parsnip Burger, he actually was one of the people that got me a few of the things that would have been answering that question. But the Degrassi, having that, uh, he helped me to get Fright Night, which is coming. So that too. But things that I want, oh, man, single item I want. I've been blessed to get a lot of stuff. Oh man, what do I want? I had an answer for this earlier. There was, hmm, what's the one single item I want more than anything else? That's really hard. Uh, for my better half, I would like to find her the last Disney tin that she needs. It's very extremely expensive, and one of these days I'll find it. I know I will. I kind of just got the feeling. So that is something that I want there. Donald Duck Volume 4 or something like that. But for me personally, man, one thing. That's hard for a movie collector to say one thing. And I'm stumped. I'm almost really stumped. Perfect. Okay. The Twilight Zone big set. It's like the whole set and the 80s series as well. I think that's probably one of the big things on my list. So if we're gonna go like with mega things, like major expensive things like that, yeah. So that would be a big one right there. The Twilight Zone, and the other one, I think there's two TV ones like Complete Mission Impossible. I love that series. So those are ones that I'm hoping one of these days, one of these days you'll find it on. I'm gonna find somewhere. I'll get set slowly, but I like to have the Twilight Zone set, and I would like to have the Mission Impossible ones. Those were shows that stuck with me. So those are ones that come out, and it's like for like smaller stuff and that. Some Doctor Who stuff that I really want. Just amazing stuff. And the newer stuff. I mean, oh man, there were so many cool things that came out. But you should say one thing I want more than anything else. Go with Twilight Zone. Yeah, that was a good set. When you auditioned for soaps or other shows, did you meet any famous people or actors you greatly admired? Well, when I did it back in the day, it was done differently. And I didn't live in Los Angeles or Alameda where the soaps were being filmed and shot for by far and large. Many of them were. So what I did and when I sent was I did up a tape, an audition tape, which unfortunately I don't have anymore. I'd love to have it actually. And audition tape with headshots and stuff like that, and I sent them out. I got back, sometimes I got back nothing, a rejection, or just I never got any answer at all. And a couple times, obviously, like I mentioned before, I definitely lucked out and I had a chance and blew it. I didn't take the chance. So I didn't get to meet any of the sort of people that I wanted to meet then. I did manage to meet some through through doing plays and kind of like off play, off Broadway, off main type play type stuff. So I met a few people that way. But the one that I really wanted to meet more than anyone else back in the day was an actor by the name of Lane Davis, and I'm sure you probably know who he is because you're a soap opera fan. He played Mason Capwell on the series Santa Barbara, and I had a great affinity for the character Mason Capwell, and I felt a lot like Mason Capwell at the time. I felt like the sane voice in my family that didn't seem so sane at times. You got to know the character to understand. But Lane Davis is one actor that I really wanted to meet. Like me, he was really into theater. He was really into he did a lot of Shakespeare. He did a lot of different plays and that. I remember seeing him in one of my favorite movies. He had a small role in the movie Body Double, which is one of my favorite movies of all time. There's a movie I want to know. You want to movie I want to own Body Double on Blu-ray. I think Twilight Time or something put it once and it's gone. But it was one that I really wanted. Love the movie. Anyway, so Lane Davies is one actor I wanted to meet that I've never met, which is not on here, but there's an extra answer for you. But no, I didn't like to meet any people because I was basically, I sent in stuff and I really needed a good agent. And there were some that were like, that I could have got, but I went in a different direction with my career. And then I got married and stuff at the time, and I was married for a few years, for a nice few years, and I let the acting stuff slide. But as for when I was auditioning plays and stuff like that as well, there's a few people that are out there that I didn't get to see, but didn't really get to meet. I didn't get to like really meet stars or celebrities pretty much until like other conventions or like on Facebook when I actually got to speak to some people and get to know them type thing. And then like meet them in person, talk to them in person, that type of stuff. As for like stars, like famous people, did you ever see the Species movies? Well, the girl that acts in those, Natasha Henstridge, is actually from my area. So I've seen her, met her when she was like much smaller and stuff. She was younger than I was, of course. What parts of the U.S. have you been to, or would you like to see? I've been to Maine because, obviously it's close by when I lived up in Ontario. But I like going to New York. 4K Cinema HD made me want to go to New York. My better half made me want to go to New York. When I was a kid, I really, really wanted to go to the U.S. That's where I wanted to live. As I grew older and became more politically aware, the U.S. was not a place that I wanted to go for like any long periods of time. That's not saying anything. I really love the United States, and I think that where would I like to go? I would like to go to New York. I would love to go to Disneyland and so Los Angeles. I would like to go there. I want to go to San Francisco. I want to go see San Diego Comic-Con. Those are places in the U.S. I like to go. What's my greatest regret in terms of collecting? Oh, God. There's a couple. When you see something and you know you should pick it up and you don't, and you're going to go back for it, or that'll be there, and it's not anymore. There's been a few of those for me. So, what is my greatest? That's a hard one. But, come on, TV. Did you turn off on me? I hate when the TV turns off, because it actually is not a bad thing, but a great regret. So here we go. Whew. That I missed out on. Body Double missed out on that. There was a sale on. That on the $6 Million Man series. I missed out on that one, and just certain things. And I don't like to regret too much when it comes to this. I mean, like I am so lucky and blessed, with the stuff that I've been able to get. So I try not to dwell on stuff that I didn't get. And I kind of feel, and it's a weird thing to say, I just kind of feel that even if I didn't get it now, if it's really something that I want or something, it's going to come out. I'm going to get it. I mean, for years, not getting Spider-Man, the 67 collection, that was one of my greatest regrets. And my better half found it for a really good price on eBay once, and surprised me with it one time. And that was definitely going to be one of my greatest regrets. Uh, if I would have missed out on Fright Night, that would have been it, because that was that important of a film to me at the time. So thank you. Chris Tria 2027. Oh, you guys probably know it's Film Game Junkies, and Chris and Victoria are two fantastic people. Check out their new channel, by the way. They just started it up. It used to be Film Game Junkies. They got this new channel that they do together, and Chris also writes as well. He does some great writing and reviews and that. So he asked me, one, if you could have a second home anywhere in the world, where would it be and why? Well, Chris is from England, and ironically, Chris, it would be there in England. I love England. I'm an Anglophile. I'm from Newfoundland, and we were part of the British colonies at one point. And we still feel very loyal to the Crown and to Britain. It's just, we got, and in a different way, and we like a lot of the same stuff. We have very much of the same sensibility and mentality. We like our Coronation Street. We like our Doctor Who. We like our Blake 7. And yes, some of us even like our EastEnders, and I'm one of them. And of course, Arrow Video is awesome. I've always wanted to live in England. It has been a dream of mine. I'm hoping to God that I can get a decent job here now this year after what happened last year, and because I'm in the job hunt right now. And it's interesting, exciting. You never know where it's going to go. I want to go to England. I want to go to England more than anything. It's the bucket list dream that I've had for my entire life. I want to go to England. I want to walk along the streets. I want to see Big Ben. I want to look at places where Doctor Who was filmed, where Hammer was filmed. I want to see Coronation Street. I love England. It gave me so much when I was a child. Doctor Who was one of my favorite shows long before it became a big popular show here, as I'm sure you're quite aware. What movie have you seen recently that surpassed expectations? Is that a recent movie? In a recent movie, I'm going to give you like a complete cop answer. It's Guardians. Guardians is really good. Guardians of the Galaxy. And some people think that it's overrated. I don't. I think it's actually a really good movie. But that didn't really exceed expectations because I know James Gunn's work and I knew it was going to be good. Wait a minute. I got an answer. And it's not a new movie. We got the Jacques Demy set from Criterion. It's an amazing set. And my better half had told me about the movies. I hadn't seen all of them. I hadn't seen many of them, actually. I'd only seen one or two. But she told me about the Young Girls of Rochefort. And she gave such an impassioned talk about the movie that it made me really interested in seeing it. But I kind of thought, it's going to be long, it's going to be boring. It exceeded every expectation that I could have even imagined. It is one of the masterpieces of musical cinema. It is just incredible. Gene Kelly is great in it. There's some great dancing, great music. It's got some little twists and turns, some really different stuff, and the way it ends is just really cool too. So Young Girls of Rochefort, Jacques Demy set, one of my favorite sets of the year, actually. If you could only watch 3 TV shows from now on, which would you choose? Do you mean shows that are on now, or shows that are all time? I'll give you an answer for both of those. Shows are on now. It's probably Game of Thrones, The Following, and Arrow, Green Arrow, Flash, Flash, Arrow. It's hard. It's really hard. Three of all time. Because everybody needs laughter. Three's Company. Three's Company or Happy Days. One of those two shows. We'll go with Three's Company. Less a little more consistency. Although I love Happy Days. Happy Days is an amazing series. I know. I like it. Thriller. Boris Karloff's Thriller. I just love that show. Go watch that day and night. And Twilight Zone. Is there any type of video you have never tried on your channel that you want to? Well, obviously it's those stripping videos. No. Yeah, this is one of them, actually. I've always wanted to do a Q&A. I didn't think anybody would get any questions, to be honest with you. I've got like 600 and something subscribers. It's there's people out there with hundreds of thousands, so and they do question and answers. I completely get it, but I consider myself fairly new, so this is one of the bucket lists of videos I want to do, stuff that I haven't done yet. I would love to do like I like to do a crossover with somebody. I would love to do something with League of Super Critics. They are just, of course, you know, they're big. They're the big guys, so that's probably never going to happen. But to be in like Cinema Snobs or video from, well, the guy with glasses, you know, Nostalgia Critic. He remembers it, so you don't have to. Or even like with Cinema Sickness. Cinema Sickness is seems like a great guy as well. We have very different movie tastes, and I think that would be fun. So I'd love to do, you know, some crossover videos with people like that. I would love to be in one the skit video. You actually have fun with it. So do I have any resolutions for 2015? So this one came just before 2015, but I guess it can be considered a resolution because I started right away in 2015. Basically, I want to get healthier. I don't want to. I had some health issues and some dieting issues here last year, and got sick, and I had some problems there. So I'm right now in the middle of not dieting, but toning, working out. I no longer eat processed foods. I eat all natural foods. I buy, you know, I get like natural. You know, I buy chicken and you know, boneless, skinless chicken, and we use like natural spices for that. And I have like broccoli, cauliflower, you know, potatoes, carrots, organic stuff, foods and that I eat. I don't eat chips anymore. I actually get pumpkin seeds. I like those. And we got an elliptical. I'm looking at other exercise equipment as well. I've got if you saw my Christmas unboxing video, I got like this resistance band as well. So there's different stuff that I'm doing to actually try and get in better shape. So yeah, that is my resolution this year. New one that I recently subscribed to, and cool, yeah, is a TV series and film collector. So check his channel out, guys. What's my favorite TV series and film of all time? Well, I kind of answered that, I think. But favorite TV series of all time. Did I answer that one? Favorite TV series? When I was a kid, it was Six Million Dollar Man. Really, really was. But if you want me to give my favorite of all time, and I've listed like Twilight Zone and stuff like that, is Remington Steele. I was a huge fan of Remington Steele. I still am, and it's I think it's a really good show. Pierce Brosnan, you know, pre-Bond, and Scott likes movies, and lives them, and doesn't know a lot about his past. So yeah, Remington Steele. Film of all time. I said like by Christmas before, but I've gone back and forth on my favorite films and that because it's so hard. But so many films make me happy. Films make me happy, really do. Genuinely, 100% make me happy, make me smile, make me dream. And maybe I'm a bit of a dreamer, and maybe that's why I like film so much. I'm an optimist. My favorite film of all time. I don't know, but when I was younger, I used to watch It's a Wonderful Life a lot. And Son of Dracula were two of the big ones I watched when I was a kid. So they're not my favorite films of all time, but since I think I've already answered the question, those are two films that meant a lot to me. Son of Dracula because it was something different, and I knew it. Reading right then, I knew it was ahead of what was being done at that time. Not the time that I grew up, but at that time. My favorite films of all time are going to go back to being slasher films because that's what I grew up with. And as much as I love films, and I love every Hitchcock, and well, not every Hitchcock, I love a lot of Hitchcock stuff, and I love a lot of the just so many good films. Kiss Me Deadly is one of my favorite films. I'd probably go back and watch a cheesy old slasher film over most of it any day because it's just what I enjoy. AJ Punk 15 is a Newfoundland reviewer. Check out his channel, guys. He's actually from the same province that I'm from, which is really cool. And as a film reviewer like myself from Newfoundland, what are your worst restrictions when it comes to movie viewing? Well, thanks to living in St. John's and the internet, I don't have a lot of movie viewing restrictions. I would love to be able to go to some openings. I love to be able to interview some people. I love to interview some stars, some celebrities. Yeah, or what would I consider celebrities as well? Now, we're not talking about George Clooney's or something, but some of the horror actors. Deborah Rashan, Danielle Harris, Megan Fox, even people like that. So my restrictions are not being able to get in contact with the right people that I really want to talk to on about in that type of thing. So next up, Ty West, Adam Green, or Adam Wingard. Who do you like best? That's really, really easy for me, actually. Adam Green. Love the Hatchet films, especially the first two. I don't think he directed the third one. And Frozen, I think, was a fantastic film. He did a movie called Sparrow, too. Yeah, a lot of people haven't seen, but they really should. It's a really good movie. Okay. I like this one. Alice from Resident Evil, Jamie Lee Curtis from Halloween, or Elizabeth Berkley from Showgirls. Marry one, kill one, make a movie with one. Alice is Mila Jovovich, I'm guessing, because yeah, Alice Rosen was Mila Jovovich. Oh man, this is a hard one, guy. You didn't go easy on me here. Okay. Wow. Okay. That's extra hard now because I didn't know that make a movie with. That's not usually what you say, so I guess you did a censor one here. Mary Wise, Alice from Resident Evil, Mila Jovovich. Come on. Can make a movie with it. Jamie Lee Curtis for sure. I mean, she's an amazing actress. Kill one of Elizabeth Berkley. Is that the one I'm left with killing? She was gorgeous. And I loved Showgirls. It's so cheesy fun. I want to kill her. Depends. I would definitely have fun with Elizabeth Berkley. And Alice would definitely kick ass. Yeah, we'll go with that. Though if Alice got infected, it would be killing Alice for mercy's sake and marrying Elizabeth Berkley. Jamie Lee Curtis is amazing though, so because the other two I don't really want to make movies with, so Jamie Lee Curtis, I would go for marry Jamie Lee Curtis normally, but she is just amazing. She's an amazing woman. That was a hard question. Lisa6577. Great commenter on her, by the way. Uh, check her out. She does some great stuff and writes some great stuff and videos. I'm getting tired, guys. It's over an hour, so. Just one movie or TV show that needs a Blu-ray release. Huh. Complete work of Steve J. Cannell. Silk Stockings, Stingray, everything that Cannell did. But I'm guessing that's a cheat of an answer. So we will go with one of my favorite TV shows of all time that I don't think anybody would ever say. And I want a Blu-ray release and a good one with lots and lots of special features and stuff like that, and not the bare bones that we got right now. Charlie's Angels. We're gonna give Charlie's Angels. Most I would spend on a single title. I spent a lot on certain titles. Saved up for months to get certain ones. One of my biggest ones that I got was Zadichi Halloween set. I bought entire collections of movies. But the most I spend on a movie, I don't know if I've got a stop-off point if the movie's that important to me. Now I do, because I'm not buying much right now. Actually, I'm not buying anything. But maybe a couple hundred if the title's really, really good. Something that's really rare, but can really afford that now. At this point, it would probably be like 100, 125, but ideally a couple hundred. Cool questions, by the way. Scott Daniels is a recent commenter on my videos. That's the top fives. Oh, it's gonna be hard. What's my top 5 cartoon series from 1960s and 70s? Oh boy, Super Friends. I love Super Friends. That's like I've got the complete series collection. I got the whole Super Friends collection. Flintstones. I love the Flintstones growing up. Scooby Doo. Of course, Scooby Doo Where Are You? I've got like the set. I got 2 sets of Scooby Doo Where Are You actually. And 60s and 70s. I like a lot of Hanna-Barbera stuff, so it's going to go towards that for the 60s and 70s. I found out Astro Boy. Love Astro Boy. One of my top 5 TV shows from 60s and 70s. Ooh, that's hard. I mean, I watch a lot of TV, and I grew up with so much. I mean, I really, really do love television. I like movies. I like movies and TV. Those are. It's hard for me with top 5s. But let's see if I can give you something here. In the 70s, I watched a lot of the detective shows. I remember The Incredible Hulk was a huge show when I was a kid. Wonder Woman was an incredible show when I was a kid. Those were in the 70s, I think. 60s, Gunsmoke, I think, was still on at that point. So I wasn't alive then, but that's one show that I really liked, and I'm guessing that's in the 60s. A lot of shows like that, and 70 shows, anything with Quinn Martin production written on, actually. Chapter 2. If you watched Barbie Jones, or you watched Mannix or something like that, those were shows that I watched. Ironsides, the original Ironsides. Just really, really cool. Quinn Martin production. If that had Quinn Martin on it, or Kenneth Johnson did it, I was there. That's a good enough answer. Falligar 5 and 7, Sammy, who I'm sure if you watch my videos, you are subscribed to Sammy. If you're not, come on. Come on. How many Blu-rays do you think you have? Oh my god. I gotta read these things before I... man. I don't know. Single Blu-rays... maybe, a few hundred, 1,000, somewhere around there. somewhere around there, somewhere between the hundreds and thousands range. How many DVDs? Way more. Thousands of DVDs. I got thousands. And single DVDs. How many series have I got? Hundreds. I really do have hundreds of TV series here, and I'm very, very glad. I love TV shows. What are your 3 favorite genres? You said so. Basically, you said that horror is my favorite genre, and you'd be pretty close on that one. Actually, horror is one of my favorite genres. My favorite genres are horror, film noir, horror, and film noir, horror, and oh god, I want to say sci-fi fantasy, but I'm not sure if it is actually my favorite. Even though I really do love science fiction films. So thriller can go with horror, I guess. So like thriller horror type thing, and film noir definitely, and drama. I really do like drama. Joan Crawford, Barbara Stanwyck. If you wanted, if earlier on somebody asked me one of my biggest regrets, not getting any Barbara Stanwyck sets. She did some amazing stuff. I don't know if it's really there are really good Barbara Stanwyck sets. I think there was a couple of there. So yeah, those are my 3 favorite genres. Are you into RPGs, etc., games like Elder Scrolls and stuff like that? The last RPG that I played, I guess you would consider an RPG, like if you're talking about hardcore RPGs, was probably Dragon Age, so the last Dragon Age, one before that, and Mass Effect 2. I was playing those 2 at the same time. Mass Effect 2 or 3? Yeah, it was 2. It's on the 360. And yeah, I do like RPGs. Do I get into them the way to get into the character type thing? Not as much as as I used to when I was younger. When I was younger, I had a lot more time to RPG, so I used to play a lot, and my friends would play as well. My cousin was into games, and we played the Final Fantasy games, and we were really into the early Final Fantasy games, not the crap stuff that's out there now. I know a lot of people love them now, but I think when it's like 25 minutes, just movies before you can even get to the screen, it bugs me. But I like old school RPGs. I really do. That's my thing. Dragon Age Inquisition with the one you're playing. I've seen like the stuff that's on there. Just some incredible stuff. I remember when Bard's still back in the day. So yeah, I do like RPGs. Did I ever play Dungeons and Dragons? Well, Sammy, I had the original red box Dungeons and Dragons when it came out. I was a huge fan of it at the time, and though when I first got it, I got it, one, because dragons were cool, and 2, because for some reason I thought that might get me more girls, which doesn't work that way. But not back then, nowadays. More so it would, but I was really into Dungeons and Dragons. I used to buy the solo quests as well, the ones with the you get them and there'd be like this like kind of red like translucent paper, and you kind of put it over to see what the next part, like you made your decision to go to this part, and you put the paper over, like there'd be a paragraph you read off that. I love that as well. I had the Steve Jackson books, so yeah, I had Dungeons and Dragons. Also played Rifts. I played a lot of Rifts actually back in my college days, and played some Robotech. My favorite game of all time now is Settlers of Catan. And it's not an RPG, but you know that gives you an idea of the stuff I'm into. What was the first horror movie you saw? I think it was probably, I was really young. It's probably Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Was the first one I ever saw. But the first one I can ever saw and remember really well would probably be. It might actually be Black Christmas or Louis Jourdan's Dracula. What film got you into horror movies? I always say Black Christmas because it's the one that stood out. But I think that like got me into like horror movie, like into like wanting to make movies. But actually, it hasn't got me into horror movies. What really got me to Argento, for sure. I mean, we had a theater where they would show like a lot of the Italian type giallo films, and like a lot of different stuff. And I remember seeing Profondo Rosso, Deep Red, in a theater, and they were giving it posters and stuff, and the creepy ass posters as well. And Argento's just a visual flair, the style of his work. They really, really got me entranced in films and filmmaking and horror, and made me want to like go out and see more and see more, and it made me just not want to know, okay, this is a cool film, but okay, who's this director? What's his mindset? Stuff like that. From early on, though, I gotta say, I was really into film early on, but the Italians got me into the horror. What time do you usually go to bed at night? Well, uh, even when I'm working, it's usually fairly late. But 3ish, I guess 3:30, sometimes 4, sometimes. But I like to get to bed at like 12 or 1 usually, if I can. Top 3 prized possessions in your collection. Damn. Well, one that stands out is I got the zombie head from Walking Dead season 2, and not an easy find. So definitely one that I like, and I got it for a very cheap price, and it's very, very expensive now apparently. But so yeah, that's definitely on the top 3. I love the Harry Potter set that I got. I think that's pretty incredible. It's like prize, like possession. I think you mean like in that way. And like I got the Walking Dead season 3 fish tank head, but I use Walking Dead, so it's for a whole one of them. We're just going to do Walking Dead collector's editions. I guess got those. Uh, but I got so many fancy stuff, Benderhead and stuff like that. I do really like the James Bond set that I got. That was a good one. But oh man. Hmm. I like the Halloween set. One of the prize ones, the find back in the day, was the Evil Dead Ultimate Edition. Everybody has it, and same as the Dawn of the Dead, the Ultimate Edition as well. Those two are prized possessions in my collection. I got way too many box sets of collector's items. Just like pick out ones from there. I've lucked out that way. But there's certain like movies that are more personal to me that mean a lot to me. Finding Curtains and getting that finally, that meant a lot to me. That became a prized possession. Was not a fancy movie or a fancy box set. It was just one that I really, really enjoyed. Uh, Owning Degrassi, which seems like such a silly thing for some people. It was a huge thing. It was my childhood. Uh, the Halloween box set meant the world to me. The fact that Arrow and Scream Factory exist just amazed me. So there's a lot of stuff there. For the Lord of the Rings or Hobbit trilogy. Well, I haven't seen a lot of either. I've seen some Lord of the Rings. I went to sleep at the first Hobbit film, not because it was a bad movie. I was actually digging it, but I was really tired. I haven't seen enough of either to give you a really good answer on that one, but more than likely just based on the size and scope and thing. I like people say the Hobbit movies were like stretched out and like extra stuff was put into that, but actually Peter Jackson. I didn't know this myself because I'm not the biggest. Well, I don't know a lot about Tolkien the way that my better half does. She said that a lot of the Hobbit stuff that they thought was actually taken from the Annex, the like the extras and stuff like that. So, but I don't know. I really liked Martin Freeman. I really like him a lot. But I'll go with Lord of the Rings because why not? But honestly, no. You know what? No, shake that. I'm going to go with the Hobbit. Hobbit looks like it's more action oriented, more fun, and not so many whiny characters. Maybe, I don't know. And really, check him out. Seriously, awesome dude. Gotta check his channel. What's your least favorite film in your collection? Terror Foretold. We watched that one this weekend. Me and my son watch it. My daughter tried to watch it and she fell asleep. Lucky girl. I got it for 89 cents and I overpaid. It is a horrible, horrible, horrible film. I will probably never watch it again. And at one point or another, if I don't keep my collection just because it's horrible, I will actually try and pawn that off on someone who really likes really bad horror movies, like me. Am I planning to upgrade to 4K Blu-ray when it becomes available next year? No, not right away. I want to see how it's going to go. Here's what's going to make the difference to me. I don't care that there's going to be a slightly better picture quality, or you know, oh, this picture quality looks amazing. That doesn't matter to me. It's what they do with it aside from that. If 4K comes out with, here's the thing that's going to be the deal maker, deal breaker for me. If they do a bunch of 4K cinema with a lot more features and bonus stuff, then I see like new ideas and stuff that they can do with film. That will get me. You won't get me with picture quality. You're not going to get me with, oh, this sounds good. But if you start loading features onto a 4K Blu-ray that I can't get onto a normal Blu-ray or a DVD, that's when they'll have me. So, not right away. Logan Toxic. Logan Toxic, the man who rocks it. Just check him out. Just some great reviews, some great unboxings, some great raps. He's like the Arrow fan like me. So he's definitely has a lot of Arrow stuff. By the way, check out his channel. He got some really great stuff. Got a little one too, so yeah. Where do we go when we die? Well, if I can answer that question, then I could have answered the question at the end of Martyrs for you. But you want me to get into my own religious beliefs? I think we recycle ourselves. We are resurrected. We do things over and over again, and there's reasons we meet people over and over from lifetime to lifetime. Think like Hawkman and Hawkgirl. And that's how it happens. We don't go, we go here. We come back here to redo it, do it differently. I do it in a different setting. There. I know it was kind of like a glib question, which I really appreciate. Guys, this is my first Q&A. It's gone on way, way too long. I hope I've answered all your questions in the way that you wanted them answered. If I haven't, you know, I will make the best chance I can to re-answer it. But 51 questions, 1 hour and 20 something minutes long. It's really late here, and I need to get up with my better half. We're gonna have like, she's got to work tomorrow, and there's kind of like there's this store that's closing out, like a video store. It's its last day, so we want to go there after she gets off work. But we want to like have breakfast together, so got to get to bed. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys made it to the end of this video, and to everybody that asked questions, and to everybody that maybe have asked questions that I didn't get to answer, I will answer them, and I'll make another little video if more questions come in. So I really enjoyed this. Originally tonight, I had planned to talk about Howling 2 news that came out from Scream Factory. I'm a huge fan of the movie. And then I was gonna, but even before that, I was gonna make a video. But like, I've got a shelf of like movies out there, and I was gonna show off basically part of a collection, basically the shelves that's never shown type of thing. And yeah, I'm tired now, so I'm kind of like spacing. Thank you guys for watching. For me right now, I'd say it's time for tea, but tea is done. I'm very sleepy. I think Giant Lobsterhead's already asleep on me. And so I'm just going to grab a bottle of water, go upstairs, pass out, get up in the morning, and have breakfast with my better half. I wish her a great day while I go having a great day myself of job hunting and enjoying this fantastic roller coaster ride that we call the world. And what I was going to say before, for everybody that watches these videos, that comments, Uh, you're awesome. Thank you so much. Really, truly, it's like finding a family of amazing people that you can talk to and you can talk with and barter and argue with, whatever. Because you can. This is great. I mean, when I came on YouTube, I can't used to come here to watch like reviews of movies that I was going to go out and buy and stuff. Film Fan Pete was one of the first. I mean, I found Faligar for different movies that he was reviewing at the time, and I guess Cinema Sickness because he just had such a passion and was collecting everything. It was, oh man, Absolute Sublime one was awesome, and he still is one awesome guy. That and it just went from on from there. So all the people that I found on there, Film Fatale. Hope she makes more videos. She's really good, and just some amazing people. And I feel blessed to get to talk to you guys. And if you guys like this and you like these videos, uh, then I'm guessing I'm doing something right. So thank you so much, and have a great night. Have a great week. Monday's over. Tuesday's around the corner, and before you know it, it'll be Friday again. You'll be relax on the weekend. Have a good one. I'm rambling. I'm tired, and I'm very, very happy that I get to make a video like this. Talk to each and every one of you. Every person that I mentioned on here, check out whether it's a channel or a commenter. Definitely, every person there sincerely, really enjoys what they do, and it shows. And for that reason alone, you really, really deserve to check these people out. So if you're coming onto my channel and you just seen a Q&A, if you're wondering when I'm going to shut up or whatever, just shut me up and go check out their channels because they're awesome. Have a great night.